What do you love most about Ryan?
He's like me in some ways.
That's what you love most about him? Yeah? Which is what? Strong? Tough?
Strong in mind, weak in other things.
I don't really know who makes this. It's a Carter.
That's Carter out there.
Yeah, Carter. So Carter is the same one that makes the Edelbrock. The Carter AFB, that's all the Edelbrock carburetors that are familiar. They're on all the hot rods. It's a Carter AFB carburetor with some modifications.
What do you love most about Dad?
He's my dad. I love everything about him. I'm proud of him.
No, I didn't know that. I've seen him on record albums with like Barbra Streisand and stuff, you know, like doing duets, but other than that, I don't know much about him. This is a long road. Route 2 from Norwich to Hartford.
Your sciatica's out? Well, no, my elbow's hurting today and my ankle, so I gotta get an ankle brace on and an elbow brace.
We're off to a good start.
Old age. That's an accurate straight 8, but we're not gonna use it. Well, there's a guy that wants to trade me this engine and tranny for an engine hoist. He was supposed to come last week, but he went down to the store to get one, and it was sold out, so he's gonna come in a couple weeks. Any ideas?
When do we start?
Let's start. Good idea, Pop.
What are we saying?
He wants to take the fenders out so we can make some room in the middle here.
Yeah, that's good. Good idea. How'd you tear your forearm?
Honestly, it's just one of those I don't know again.
So this is the infamous Ratrod.
It is.
And again, I think we've already walked through what the stuff is, so we don't even bother with that. Well, where do you start?
I do know more now.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yes.
So maybe we should do the walkthrough. Let's sort of walk through what we have
These...
here. Okay, what do we got? These look like Volkswagens.
They're not. These are swoop fenders from the front.
Swoop fenders, okay.
Yeah, 32 Chevy.
32 Chevy swoop front.
And it turns out that this is actually a 32 Chevy frame, grill.
32
lights.
Chevy frame.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah. So
1932 Chevy frame.
And grill and headlights.
Yep.
And this is completely homemade.
Okay, so it's a 32 Ford is really the base.
The 32 Ford is just this firewall.
Oh,
That's
just
it.
that. Okay.
This is the only 32
Oh, that's the only
Ford.
32 Ford. Okay.
That's it. The rest of this is 32 Chevy.
So would you say most of it is 32 Chevy as a base? That's
32
the base.
Chevy. It's got a Ford front axle. The frame is a 32 Chevy frame. The rear axle is a Nova 12 volt.
A Nova 12 volt?
12 bolt.
Oh, 12 volt.
Yeah,
What's a
so-
Nova 12 volt?
Well, the bolts are on the rear diff cover. You count the number of bolts.
Oh, okay.
So a Nova 12 bolt, it's a good rear.
Huh,
About
okay.
a $600 rear end.
So what's interesting then is that, you know, as a Ratrod, it's chopped up pieces of different cars.
It's a little bit of
You got
everything.
the 32 Ford, the 32 Chevy. You got what year Nova?
What's that?
What year Nova is the door?
Oh, that the rear end?
No,
I don't know.
the Nova.
It's a Nova rear end.
Oh, Nova rear end. No,
Yeah.
what was the door?
These doors are Volkswagen doors.
Volkswagen doors.
Yeah,
That's what I thought.
These are Volkswagen doors.
Yeah. So it's literally like four.
I've seen this, and what is the dry shaft?
Well, we're not using this, so it don't matter, Pop. No matter what we put in here, we're gonna have to have a drive shaft cut for it.
No, you made special.
Yeah, what we gotta do is once we have our engine transmission assembly, we're gonna have to measure from here to the back yoke there and shorten the drive shaft to go to like Landon's over there in Montville, and they'll make a balanced drive shaft for it.
So that engine in there now, that's the Packard engine.
That's a straight 8 Packard.
Straight 8 Packard.
Oh, now I see the engine.
What do you think of that, Dad?
Is that a regular carburetor?
Yeah, this is
Rochester?
it's a 1-barrel. I don't really know who makes this. It's a Carter.
That's that Conrad.
Yeah, Carter. So Carter is the same one that makes the Edelbrock. The Carter AFB, that's all the Edelbrock carburetors that are familiar. They're on all the hot rods. It's a Carter AFB carburetor with some modifications.
Carter AFB.
Yeah, but this is a single barrel Carter.
Okay.
So
But we can't do much with that, is what you're
we're
saying.
not doing anything with this.
Right, so you're
There-
really
there's
going to
a-
be taking it all apart.
Yeah, well, there's a guy coming to take this engine out of here. So,
Right.
you know, take the engine and the training. Huh? We will. We will.
Oh, they gotta be done before we leave tonight.
I know that.
That's all right. We'll be doing both, Dad. We'll be doing both.
So, I like that it's a 2-door roadster, but I don't. When it's weather like this, nobody wants to go driving in this. You know?
True. True.
So I think we got to come up with a roof for it. My thought was something low, and it follows the body line of the boat tail.
Right in the middle of the door.
So, right, maybe this tall, sloping down. What do you think?
Well, did you think
Something funky with it?
could we prop a car seat in here and like sit in it and see what height you need?
Oh yeah, we'd have to. That's the whole reason why. Let me grab the windshield frame. That's why I was gonna move.
Dude, imagine if you could pull that off, because that's the Vulcan engine back there, right in front of you.
Yes.
If you could get that Vulcan engine, the motorcycle engine, in that car
Well, that's what
to have it move.
that guy wanted to use, and it would work.
Wait a second. Dad, you see the Vulcan engine back there?
See that engine?
What year is that?
It's in the 2000s. I don't know the exact
So
year.
that's a Vulcan engine for motorcycle, right? Could you imagine putting that
in that.
in that?
It's a Vulcan 2000. That's 2000.
Why can't you put it in there?
You can. We would just need a gearbox, because obviously the gear turning out of that engine and tranny is this way, and our rear end is that way. So we'd need like a.
For the book, and that would have brought the book.
'Cause that would be pretty cool.
That's what the guy was saying. It would. You'd never see one like it. You'd look in from the side and see this V-twin motorcycle engine in there. And be like, what the heck?
A couple of bucket seats.
This here is.
But do you want one seat all the way across?
Oh, a bench? No, I'll end up doing a bucket because it's easier to make it fit in there.
Right.
The bench would have to be really short to fit in there.
You know, what'd be cool too, is if you had motorcycle seats and even a motorcycle handlebar as the steering wheel.
I wouldn't do that.
No?
No.
Come on, man.
Well,
idea.
the idea is to have it so that someone like Lauren can drive it if she
That's
wanted.
true,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the thing is, that's 2,053 cc's. That's got more cc's in it than basically a Volkswagen engine. It's bigger.
Yeah.
So
Well, but can you combine a motorcycle with a car? And I think the answer is yes, because you've seen these, not just three-wheelers, you know.
yeah, why couldn't you?
Yeah.
That's what I'd say.
Now, what is that? What do you got here?
This is a windshield frame.
Okay.
And this goes on the firewall.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So see what I mean? With it down where it is, I'd be looking right at this sitting in here.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's why I want to move this back, move it up to here to get some more inches out of it so that I can actually fit in the car.
Yeah. So you're gonna do what?
This pan in here, it's already rotted in a bunch of places.
Yeah,
We'll
get
just
rid of
take it right out of here. We don't need that.
So, Dad, he wants to take the
Take these
spotlights off.
because we're not going to use them. They're foolish looking on the car to begin with. And then we'll try to see if we can get the doors mounted. See the hinges are here? We can get the door hinges mounted up.
Yep.
Then we'll be able to open and shut the doors. instead of having a strap around it holding the door shut. You know what I'm saying?
And the boat's invisible.
No, we gotta, that's why it's a rat rod. We gotta fabricate it. We gotta drill these holes for the hinges into there and then bolt it. So we're gonna have to drill into this plate and then bolt the hinges up.
Let's get started.
We'll get started.
What, Dad?
We'll get him started.
What'd
He
you
said,
say?
well, let's get started.
Get on with it.
Get on with it. Let's go.
Mess.
Yeah, let's try to find a. Do we have a small socket set or something we could use?
We can use this spread set right here. No, right here.
Oh, cool.
Spread set.
Nice. All right.
Oh, did I show you these?
What
These
is
are
all
all
this?
terminal ends and terminals.
Huh.
Hey,
Oh wow. Those
These-
are nice.
These are all for building a battery bank.
Oh, up north.
Hundreds of them.
Yeah,
Those
yeah.
are all terminal ends. They
Oh,
attach it to
you
the
mentioned that. We were talking about power on the roof and all that stuff.
Exactly.
All right. Very
battery.
cool.
That's for building a battery bank. How, buddy? You making up? Shaking too much? We got that one started. Let's see how this one is. You know what? You need an extension. That's the problem. See how it's kind of throwing it off at an angle? Got the light? Grab it with both hands. There you go. Yeah, well this one is even an old light, Unity. I'd probably look it up. There you go. There you go. And dope nuts.
Always a good time for a nice fresh cup of coffee.
It's true.
Is it?
Well, I like a coffee. I mean,
Well, you got to start with the coffee. You can't do work without the coffee.
want one too?
No thanks.
Okay.
I say we clean all that up and take it all off so we can start on it.
Yeah. We'll take out the fenders and
Time flies when you're having fun.
I know. But you, like you said, you gotta eat lunch, so this is our only option. Feed you now.
What makes a forklift motor so special?
High torque, enough power to actually move the vehicle. Yeah, Dad. Yeah, no wrong.
Cool.
We keep forgetting to give them to you. Oh, you gonna use it in the flat in here? Yeah. Alright. I got some primer too.
Thanks, man. You don't want one?
I got one. Give him a coffee is too hot. I like it. That way no free rust after you're done sanding. Pop working on the firewall.
I'm working on the firewall.
Yep. Trying to get it smoothed out so we can get some more primer on it. Stop some of this rust that's coming in.
Looking good. Oh wow, that's nice and smooth. How far down do you go with these though? I never knew that, you know?
Well, it's
What's that?
Well, it's rough. If you get a rough spot, then it's down to the finish.
Yeah.
So the wood did that. We never reached that.
Yeah. Oh, that looks good.
What do you have? A rod like this?
Yeah.
Pizza.
You're talking about Chuck?
Look at it.
Chuck, the welder.
Yeah, you know it.
I know Chuck.
Did a beautiful job on it.
He did. They had a 454 blower motor in it.
Yeah, every time we punched it, it really was.
Oh yeah. It's not the biggest Ford motor, it's the biggest Mustang motor that I can think
You
of.
wouldn't want it.
Sure, it ain't a four. You're thinking of a 438.
No, the 427 side oiler, remember that? You can't touch one for less than 25
Yeah,
grand
but
now.
that'll rip the wheels clean off of this thing.
Well, I'm still leaning towards the V10 Dodge engine. We put a V10 in it.
Like this.
Yes, 488 cubic inch.
Okay, so but you like the Mustang idea or a Ford motor, like a Ranger, like I get like a Ford Ranger motor.
Bullet used that Mustang motor.
That had a 351 in it.
That 300,000. It's one at the auction. That price.
That's a lot of money.
Well,
This was a fastback.
I think, yeah, I know what you're saying.
What size motor is that? 302.
That was a it's a 351 car, and then some of the stunt cars only had 302s in them. Cleveland, 351 Cleveland, 351 Windsor. They're two different blocks, but they're both 351 Fords. The 302s was in the stunt cars for that movie, which
Okay.
I believe there was only one or two.
So
But I'm trying to look for something that I could get into cheaper, Pop. That's why I was thinking the V10. Is
they're
because
cheap.
yeah, I can get one of these blocks. There's a guy across town in Hartford
Yeah.
selling one for $200 right now. And no, it's because he can't find a transmission because he's trying to do a two-wheel drive transmission, and he's trying to fund another project, so that's why he only wants $200. The thing is, I knew where to find a tranny. I already did find one. I can get one for $400. The problem is he's trying to look around here. He doesn't know about the junkyard database that I know about, that I went on and already found a tranny. So basically, under $1,000, I'd have that whole V10 assembly put in
I
here.
know where you got the parts from. From Rice, junkyard.
You're talking about where I would get the tranny? It'd be coming from Michigan.
Any parts down here.
Bridgeport, right? Training's here.
You've
So
been there,
no.
you don't know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, Dad, but no, I found it, someone in Michigan had it for $400. And then there was a few other people in Ohio that had them for $5. But around here, that transmission is like $1,500.
Yeah.
So,
okay, so I have a question. So why not have a lightweight engine so you don't have to worry about the suspension being able to hold that up? Because a V10, the 10 is going to be really heavy.
It's going to be one of those kind of cars that pick up in the front.
Really?
Down that track.
well, that's the thing. It's so heavy that the weight will come off because
Okay.
it could be doing
So
this.
you put an engine in, and then a transmission you block to it. And then what do you have? You have the drive shaft going to the back. It's going to be rear wheel drive, obviously.
Yeah.
And then
Plus another thing, it's going to tear the engine up.
it reminds me of old astronaut test pilots, hoping this thing doesn't fall apart.
But it's not going to. Look how solid it is. I tell you, the rear end will be fine. That's a 12-bolt posi rear out of a Nova. It's made for horsepower. It'll be all right. And if it blows up, we'll just switch it to a 9-inch Ford. That's all. You know you won't blow up one of those.
You going to keep the wheels? Those are IROCs.
No,
right?
those are IROC Z rims. Those got to go.
Really?
They're all the same size. They look ridiculous on me.
You want big ones in the back, big
Ones in the
slicks
back,
in the back, maybe?
little ones in the front. Exactly.
Yeah.
Not to mention,
What, Dad?
You got to find it.
I tell you what else. I'm thinking about changing this whole front end because if you didn't notice, there's no none of the assemblies there for the brakes. You got a Chevy rim on a Ford front end, which means someone just threw that together. It's probably not safe,
Yeah.
and there's no brakes.
That's true. There's
That's
no brakes.
kind of an issue.
That is an issue.
So I'm thinking about finding another drop axle assembly that's a little more complete with a disc brake set. I mean, those discs are in there, but they match the hub that these IROCs are on, but they don't match this spindle. You see what I'm saying? The sizes aren't right for it to be safe.
Yeah.
It's great for rolling around the yard, but if you actually want to drive and not have it fall apart on you, that's not going to work.
True. Dad, what do you think about spoke wheels? Spokes?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
We'd have to go low power. You can't go high horsepower on spokes. It'll just
So
rip.
it'd be aluminum alloy?
Yeah,
Steel?
probably like I got on the Challenger. Those aluminum rims that are over there on that car.
Yeah. I can't see them from here, but
No, you won't see them from here, but
Yeah.
there's aluminum mags on that. Small ones in the front, big ones in the back.
It's all covered up. Oh, there we go. I'll get a glimpse of them. Yeah, those would be cool. Okay,
Yeah.
that'll work.
The back ones are about twice the size of the front ones on there. Those
That'll-
fronts are 14s, the backs are 15s.
That'll work.
So I'll probably do something like that. Now, we didn't discuss, though, what about that motorcycle engine? That's probably a couple hundred horsepower.
Well, you
With the frame or something go low, with that big engine in it?
That motorcycle engine? Oh, yeah. It would hold that no problem. It's got more of a chance of ripping in half with the V10 in it than it does with that motorcycle engine.
The V10 is the biggest.
It's the biggest that I can get my hands on. Unless we do a 460 Ford, but that's still... The V10 is big. It's 488.
We're using a big flood engine. It's too heavy.
Well, he brings up a valid point about the weight on the suspension. This is, after all, a 1930s front end setup here.
Yeah.
It's a lot more weight.
And you're not worried about electrical, running wires and all that. That's easy. That's like the
Well-
the last thing you got to worry about.
You have a lot more wires to run if we do the V10. It's all computer operated.
Really?
So we have all this wire harness with electric control boxes everywhere. Where the older we go, the more simple. Like if I went with that motorcycle engine,
Yeah.
it's partially electronic, but it's simple enough that I can get all the wiring down to one little pile of stuff.
Yeah, but how do you convert that power in that engine to a differential in the back?
We need that box.
Is a converter box?
Yeah, basically it comes in this way and comes out that way. I believe when I was working at Jordan's at the junkyard, we had some down in the trailer, and I believe they came from old Subarus.
Really?
And it came in one way and out the other.
Yeah, because
And
they
it
do
was-
have a different drive system.
It's a 1-to-1.
Okay.
Because all we got to
What's that
do...
mean, 1-to-1 ratio?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so rather than...
Oh, right, 'cause you open the
2-to-1 would
differential,
be
you'll see-
2 turns to 1 turn here.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
1-to-1, 1 turn to 1 turn.
Okay.
And that's already got the transmission together with it. So that's already a 6-speed.
So picture that motorcycle engine sticking out of the top of there. That might be kind of cool.
It would be cool, because it would have to be sideways
And it
like
would
this.
sound, you'd probably try to capture the same ground effects, right? But I'm pretty sure those have that popping, that
It can if you're running it too rich, but it'll run a little bit smoother than that, because it is Japanese at
because
the end of the
nobody's
day.
ever seen that. It's going to be like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, it would be pretty cool. You know?
Colchester used to run those cars that lift up in the air. We went down
Who did?
in Colchester.
Oh, really?
Went on Route 16. We were down there about 10 minutes on. It's way up in the woods.
Really? You used to go to them?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
You talking about there was a dragway, Dad?
Yeah, dragway.
You went to drag strips?
Yeah.
Really? The they take off? I've never seen one of those.
You haven't?
No.
What
You'd
a
be
power
hooked.
it was.
They look cool on
They were
TV.
flying 5 feet.
Really? What are the flames about? I've seen the flames. Why do they flame up?
You can make a kit, and what it was back in the day, you'd have a lot of bypass. There's no emissions. You'd have a lot of unburned fuel in the exhaust.
Okay.
You could hook up another coil on a switch from the battery with a spark plug back there at the end of the tailpipe. You could flip the switch, it would start sparking, it would reignite that, so the flames would start coming out.
Oh, that's cool. And now I remember when I was a kid, I used to watch these, I think we called them funny cars, but like the car, the whole frame of the car, the shell would go like up. You could like lift it up.
Yeah.
And sometimes they drive that way.
Those are funny cars.
Funny cars, that's what they're called. Yeah.
That's the one that ram each other?
No.
Oh, Demolition Derby.
Demolition Derby.
Well, this is something.
And some of them have parachutes after they're slowing down. Do they go that fast?
Most of them do. Oh, yeah.
How fast do they go?
Well, I mean, a lot of drag cars, funny cars can go fast. But if we were building a drag car, like a street car, if we did it right, we could probably get that Challenger down to 9 seconds, quarter mile, which would be like 170 miles an hour, 175.
You need a parachute.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why the big ones, you're talking, when you talk about a car that does like 7.5 or 8 seconds, you're breaking 200 miles an hour.
Yeah. That's fast. I didn't think they went that fast. Where's the frame you had for the window?
It's right there in the back.
Right here. So if you had this bench, because I had a question about this, and you put this window here,
Yep.
right? What about don't they make these things in the back, like a scoop top type of thing? Would you connect to it? Or?
Yeah. That's the idea. I want to enclosure it because this ain't California.
Oh, open up and sunny.
Yeah, you can't leave it open and sunny all the time. It's always like it is today
and that's
around
what,
here.
That's what you meant by fiberglass.
Yeah.
Making a fiberglass top.
Yeah. And that's what I was talking about. What do we want to do? We want to follow that boat tail fiberglass top, which I think would be original and cool. Or my thought was put the windshield frame in, cut the roof off a Volkswagen Beetle, so it still has a nice curve, and weld that on there.
So what if you did this? So you got, what do you call the boat thing?
Boat tail.
Boat tail. So you got the boat tail here, okay? Now what if you had a top come up and boat tail down to the front, and you had like angled glass? Hello, boys. Hello.
Where would the front
Work
be?
with me. What?
Where would the front be? With this angled glass. Over that firewall?
So it came up here.
Yep.
Came up here, and it kind of beat over here, and the glass went down here, like at an angle. So it's almost like you have this would be bent.
I know what you're talking about.
Here.
Yeah.
Because this V matches that V.
They have a windshield like that.
Yeah.
I forgot what they call it, but they do have a windshield like that.
Yeah. So, but how do you make the top? You literally fabricate with fiber and fiberglass and.
The cheapest way is to get foam.
Foam.
See, expensive shops can afford those foam blocks. You ever see them?
Yeah.
They're on a tractor trailer and they're like the size of your truck and it's one foam block.
Yeah.
Well, so what you do normally is you'd get foam from like Joann's or one of them places, and you glue them all together, all the foams, and then you take a bread knife, an electric bread knife, and you cut the shape.
Really?
Then you take your glass mat, lay it out on there, then you just mix up your glass and hardener,
Hardens it right
and painted it on there, and it hardens it right up.
And you've
That's
got
the shape.
something similar to a top, really.
Exactly.
It's dude, imagine if you could pull that off. Because that's the Vulcan engine back there, right? In front of you.
Yes.
If you could get that Vulcan engine, the motorcycle engine, in that car,
Well, that's what
to have it move.
that's what that guy wanted to use, and it would work.
Wait a second. Dad, you see the Vulcan engine back there?
See that engine?
What year is that?
It's in the 2000s. I don't know the exact
So
year.
that's a Vulcan engine for motorcycle, right? Could you imagine putting that
in that.
in that?
It's a Vulcan 2000. That's
Why can't you put it in there?
You can. We would just need a gearbox. Because obviously the gear turning out of that engine and tranny is this way and our rear end is that way. So we'd need like a...
That would be pretty cool.
That's what the guy was saying. It would. You'd never see one like it. You'd look in from the side and see this V-twin motorcycle engine in there and be like, what the heck?
A couple of bucket seats.
This here is...
Or do you want one seat all the way across?
Oh, a bench? No, I'll end up doing a bucket because it's easier to make it fit in there.
Right.
The bench would have to be really short to fit in there.
You know, it'd be cool too, is if you had motorcycle seats and even a motorcycle handlebar as the steering wheel.
I wouldn't do that.
No?
No.
Come on, man.
Well,
idea.
the idea is to have it so that someone like Lauren can drive it if she
That's
wanted.
true,
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the thing is, that's 2,053 cc's. That's got more cc's in it than, you know, basically a Volkswagen engine. It's bigger.
Yeah.
So,
Well, but can you combine a motorcycle with a car? And I think the answer is yes, because you've seen these not just three-wheelers, you know.
yeah, why couldn't you?
Yeah.
That's what I'd say.
Now, what is that? What do you got here?
This is a windshield frame.
Okay.
And this goes on the firewall.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
So see what I mean? With it down where it is, I'd be looking right at this, sitting in here.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's why I want to move this back, move it up to here, to get some more inches out of it, so that I can actually fit in the car.
Yeah.
Sweet. It perfectly fits if we put it the opposite direction.
I think it'd look crazy if you do that, like crazy weird. Like, it'd be cool.
But yeah, in a
With
good
the
way.
V-twin
In a
in
good
here.
way. Yeah, it's kind of like the. This is sounding much like a
Like 20 inches wide.
steampunk, like a steampunk vehicle.
Yeah, 20 inches wide. That would fit perfectly.
Really?
It fits perfect in this hole.
Okay. Question: How? Your big engine will fit perfectly in that hole, huh?
Yep.
So, what do you think about? How about mounting it? How are you going to mount that?
Oh, we just weld up some motor mounts. I'm not worried about that. It's just a motorcycle engine.
This reminds me of the go-kart days I told you about, of finding
Exactly.
a centrifugal clutch and figuring it out, and then getting it to run, and it ran. The go-kart ran around the block.
It's the
It was awesome.
same principle. The only thing we got to do is just weld up some mounts. As long as there's some rubber in between, we're fine.
Yeah, shock absorber.
Gives it a little shock
Yeah.
absorber.
I mean, it's not supposed to be a luxury ride. It's supposed to be a fun rat ride.
It's supposed to be
like
a
I
fun
said,
rat ride.
kind of like a rocket engine going off to Mars. You know, you're going to lose some parts though. You know.
We just need to figure out the gearbox. 'Cause
Yeah.
We're dealing with an output here that's belt driven normally that goes that way. We need to come from this way to that way because that's like that.
What'd you call that converter? The thing the knuckle?
Oh,
what is
the,
that thing?
The one-to-one gearbox.
The 1-to-1 gearbox.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
1-to-1 ratio
Okay.
gearbox.
Okay. And does that lay low enough, the transmission output
Yeah.
low enough that you can go under the
Yeah,
floorboards?
it would be coming out right about here, which
Okay.
means
Okay.
we'd be fine.
Okay.
By the time we hooked up our gearbox,
Yeah.
we'd be coming out here somewhere, which we can connect it right up.
Yeah, it's too bad we didn't have the means to take this out and put that in to see what it looks like.
I tell you what, this was supposed to be out of here already.
And you're waiting for that.
Yeah.
When he comes and grabs that,
Finally, then yes, then we can actually throw a strap on that and lower it in here.
Okay.
And then that'll give us a better idea what we can do with it.
yeah, that's pretty cool though.
Everyone likes a strap on.
No, that sounds good. Sounds like a plan.
It does sound like it. Hey, you did a great job. Perfect. Nice and smooth. Coming along good.
right.
So, yeah.
We have a finished, what do you call this part?
This is the firewall.
The firewall.
Yeah, it's
we did a
drying.
good
We
job.
just sprayed it.
It's drying. We sprayed
Dad
it.
sanded it. We got a couple dents to attend to, but and then we'll be closing up these old holes for the windshield and moving them further up.
Yep.
So these will be welded up.
What do you think, Dad?
I think it's a start.
I think
Start.
it came out nice and smooth.
Yeah.
You did a great job. And it's right at the heart of the car. That's super important.
Yeah. No, I think that's good. Well, you guys did good. What do you think about the seating? Do you think that's going to be a good idea? I like Dad's idea about putting a bench seat in here, though. You know, instead of the bucket seats. Because
I hear you.
Because you can't put 2 bucket seats in.
I'm gonna be hard pressed to find one that short, though.
You can make your own. You can
Might
chop
have to.
chop it up.
Yeah, I'd
Chop
have
it
to.
up and sew up the ends.
Rita could make it for you. She does. Seats and stuff.
Yeah, she could
Oh,
do
you're
that.
talking about the upholstery?
She could do that.
Yeah, she could.
Because that's not a big enough space for 2 buckets, is it? They'd be
They'd have to
tight buckets.
They'd have to be small.
Right, but if you got 2 good sized butts on that seat, I think a custom bench seat, you know, chopped up a little bit would. I think a bucket, not a bucket, bench
seat,
would look
yeah.
cool in here.
It would, and now that I'm looking at it with the doors off, you're right. I'm pretty wide.
Yeah,
I've probably come to at least here in this car.
yeah, exactly.
So,
And Dad, you've never sat in a rat rod, right?
I ain't gonna either.
there you go.
You're not
I
gonna.
didn't think you were gonna make them. No.
But I mean, have you ever been in a rat rod, even at your younger age, like sat in one, or
Yeah, my father had a 32 Ford
your dad had a 32
with a
Ford?
rumble seat. You know,
Oh, really?
rumble seat.
No, what's a rumble seat?
That's in the back. And that's just,
Oh, yeah, it pops up in the back, right?
Yeah, it folds back in the trunk,
Yeah.
and you're sitting on the trunk lid. That's
Yeah.
your
Anyway,
seat.
he was cocked. Went off in a ditch. We were down in the middle of nowhere. I don't know where the hell we were.
Yeah.
My uncle
And you were in it?
threw a tire. We were in a tire 100 feet.
Wow.
That's drunk. He had all these beautiful daughters, so
Yeah.
they come out here.
Wait, all in one ride? This all happened in one ride? I mean,
Yeah, he used to drool all over.
oh,
Give us a kiss here.
yeah, that sounds really good. Sounds really tasty.
You can put it in an editorial.
All right, so I want you to stand next to each other because I'm going to do a quiz. I'm going to do a pop quiz. Stand up next to Ryan.
Pops quiz.
Pops quiz. Yeah, I can even do that on a computer. Pops quiz. Dun, dun, dun. No, next to each other. Closer. Come on. All right, I want to see your face
Not
too.
a lot of room here.
All right, so, all right, actually, let's do the rat rod behind us. Yeah, turn around like that. Mom will love that. She'll say, stop doing that, you retard. All right, here we go. Ready? I'm going to ask you a question, each of you a question. It's like a lightning round. What's your favorite car ever?
Mustang Ford.
What's your favorite car?
68 Ford Mustang GT500.
What's your favorite truck?
Ford.
What's your favorite truck?
475.
56 Ford F100.
What's your dream job? If you could have any job in the whole world your whole lifetime, what would it be? Dream job.
An entrepreneur checking the wives out.
Okay. How about you? Dream job. What's on the top of your head? Like, oh man, I'd love to be a
Gym owner, personal trainer.
gym owner
I
person.
just thought of the name of that was a gynecologist.
A gynecologist?
Could help but look up the legs.
You don't want that job. Got to take the good with the bad.
Exactly. Imagine all the
Imagine all the bad.
things you'd see.
The one good and then the 20 bad wouldn't make it worth it, would it?
That would that would not be good.
They make the open rag.
You'd go to reach in there and something would reach back out at you. That's not good.
That's not good. No, something would bite you. Now, okay, what's one of your proudest accomplishments and achievements in life?
Marrying my wife.
Marrying your wife. What's one of your favorite promising things you've done in life so far?
I moved to the other end of the state to get away from his wife.
Oh, that's genius. That's genius. And, all right, I'll ask you the last question. What do you think about the future of America?
Down a fucking tomb.
What do you think about the future of America?
I won't know until this November 3rd.
Okay. All right. And here,
It could either go horribly bad, or it could maintain and be all right.
Last night they wanted to shoot him and her. The one that's running with him.
oh yeah. Oh, it's terrible. All right.
I had these two guys from Russia.
Hey, Dad. Last question. What do you love most about Ryan?
He's like me in some ways.
That's what you love most about him? Yeah. Which is what? Strong? Tough?
Strong in mind, weak in other things.
What do you love most about Dad?
He's my dad. I love everything about him. I'm proud of him.
Good. Well, this has been fun, you guys. So, that was, what do we call it? Pops
Quiz.
Pops quiz.